Hello everybody, welcome to another video from Cloud9 Spain and Cloud9 Prestige. My name's Sean Woolley. With me I have Miguel Manzanares from Manzanares Abogados here in Marbella, one of the very best law firms here on the Costa del Sol. Miguel's very kindly joined us today to explain about the recent changes to inheritance tax legislation. There have been a number of changes over the last few years, and one in particular only last month, which is due to come into effect, that is very important for anyone looking to buy property here on the Costa del Sol. So, Miguel, thank you for joining us.
Pleasure.
What's been going on then? Well, we've all been enjoying Christmas and New Year. We're now at the start of 2019. What's the latest news on inheritance tax?
Well, many changes, and all of them good changes actually, because in south of Spain, where in Andalucia, that is, we can say, is the kind of a state of the south of Spain. It represents almost a third of the Spanish territory. Mm-hmm. We were always complaining about having a high taxation about inheritance tax. Yeah. That high taxation has been improving with the pass of the time. On 1st of January 2018, we had, by first time, an important tax benefit. So for spouse and children and eventually grandchildren, each one of them could inherit up to €1 million free of taxes.
Which was pretty good, wasn't it, compared to what it used to be?
That was a massive improvement of the taxation that we used to face in Andalusia. But we have had recently elections on the month of December. We had elections in which there were two parties that were in favor of almost eliminating as much as possible this inheritance tax. The result of elections is that both parties have made a coalition, and in that coalition they are in the government now. And one of the first things that they decided was having a meeting to pretty much almost eliminating the inheritance tax. Right. And I say almost and not completely, because there is a 99% exemption. That means that from your total wealth, 99% is free of taxes, and only 1% is subject to taxes. So only from that 1% you apply the corresponding tax rates, right? So that makes that really, unless you have a huge wealth, pretty much what you pay is very, very little.
And is this a regional decision or a national decision? Is it regional because every region is autonomous, isn't it, here in Spain?
Exactly. Okay. We have in Spain 17 different autonomías, which is really autonomous. This is really equivalent of an state, because the level of rights and autonomy of those regions, is more or less equivalent to states in any country. So this is only in Andalusia. Yeah. This is one of the 17, but is one of the largest in respect of territory and also in respect of population. Okay. That represents around 32% of the Spanish territory, with a population of around 9 million people.
Fast, isn't it?
So therefore, it's been a law that says 99% of your wealth is tax-free. 1% of your wealth is subject to application of corresponding taxes. Okay. And from that 1%, you apply the progressive sliding scale that goes from very little to 36%. But the thing is, the portion of the assets that are subject of taxes is very little. It's only 1%, so it's almost free of taxes.
And why have they done this? Is it public pressure or just?
Yeah, it's been a public pressure. Well, basically, it's been considered by many people in Spain a kind of unfair taxation, because we are all paying taxes when we are making incomes. So that's, you pay your taxes. In Spain as well, when you have a certain wealth, you still pay taxes every year about your wealth. Yep. And then when you die, you have to pay again, or your heirs will have to pay again taxes about something that your parents or your grandparents have eventually paid a lot. Yep. When they made the money and when they keep that wealth, and then again you have to pay. So that was considered by many people in Spain a very unfair taxation. In fact, many other regions of Spain, other kind of like Madrid, Asturias, many other regions, they have had that system, this very same system, for many years already. And this was making as well a kind of a movement in respect of what you pay taxes. Depending on where you live in Spain, you pay very much, or you pay almost nothing.
So Andalucia, if you lived in Andalucia, you're always penalised if you had assets in this part of the world.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
So
And
now that's been eliminated. Almost.
That's been eliminated, almost eliminated. What you pay is very little. So
Okay.
in the very most of the cases, with some hundreds or even less than 100 euro, you pay your taxes.
Yeah.
So which is pretty much saying nothing, and therefore we have gone to the most effective taxation system that we could dream of.
That's fantastic news. So I guess now there's no need for all these shady offshore companies and different complex structures to buy properties. You buy it as you are.
There is no need. There is no need. Actually, there was a time in which you had to consider the best legal structure where you have to base your ownership of your properties. But this was based mainly because the inheritance tax that was so hard, so heavy, and but now considering this, you have no reason to set up any offshore corporation, any Spanish company, because you can own the properties in your personal name, and then you leave your assets to your family members free of taxes.
Fantastic.
So therefore, you don't have to form a company, which is costing money. You don't have to keep that company with bookkeepers and accountants and tax advisors, because those companies don't have to exist, don't have to be set up. So you keep the property in your personal name with a will. It's recommendable always to leave a Spanish will in place. This will facilitate all the process of probate and inheritance. And but that's everything you got to do. Making a will in Spain is also very inexpensive. For the cost of 200 euros, you have the will. That includes notary and lawyer. So you own the properties in your personal name with a Spanish will in place.
And relax.
That's it. Yeah.
Miguel, thank you so much. You've been an absolute gentleman as always. We're going to put the website address for Miguel's company at the bottom of the screen, so that if you want to contact Miguel and have a chat with him about this or any other subject, if you're thinking about buying a property here or are going through the process and need a good lawyer, this is you, man. Thanks again for listening and for watching, and we'll speak to you again soon.
Thank you very much.